Hi, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss environment variable and plus we are going to discuss folder or files which can be reusable. So just we are modifying our file structure somewhat bit more good way. Okay. So instead of directly writing the messages and all in our code base, or instead of directly writing the port in the static way, like directly writing 3000. So in future, what happens, like whenever we have like this type of things, and if we are trying to change, and if the project become huge, so what problem you will face? You will face the problem of like you have to change to all the places, all the files and folder you have to change. Okay, so that we are going to organize. So basically, we are going to organize our files and folders. And one more thing, that is environment variable we are going to study. That is added feature in our Node.js. So whatever variables, like why the environment variables is required. What is environment? Environment is nothing but like, see, now you are developing, right? So one folder is for your development. So one branch is for development. Let's suppose this same code you want to go and give it to production, like you are going your website as a live. So in live you will go for some version, like some feature. Let's suppose you have 10 feature. So you did like 2 feature you have developed, and 2 feature you have kept in that same feature you have kept in production. But other side you will be developing some more 2 feature in your project, right? So I mean to say, like, see, 2 API you have created, and 2 API you have created, and then you have uploaded to the server, right? You have uploaded to main server, like cloud server using Amazon AWS or something you have taken, and you have hosted your API. So that too is working in the production server. Okay, so it's visible to all the clients, and they are able to use that too. But behind the scene, side by side, what you will do, side by side you will develop 2 3 more product, like, so 2 3 more API if you are creating, so that will become your development environment which you are developing continuously. Like, see, today you are doing 2 API, tomorrow you are doing 3 API. So that is in your development server. So that divide I'm telling about development server means, because development server is nothing but it's like a developing phase. So there might be some issue in the developing phase. There might be any API will get break. So let's suppose now any API is getting break, then your system is getting break, you are restarting the things, right? But let's suppose if you make your website live to the server and if people are using it, like in the example, if I can say, like, let's suppose you are using Flipkart, and you are using Flipkart, you are doing order page. You added the product in the cart, you went to order page, and you are trying to order the data, but you are trying to do the payment, but suddenly payment got failed, right? Suddenly payment got failed because some maybe someone has broke that server. So simply your money will get lost, and again you have to raise some requests and all those things. So that is the reason there will be multiple environment, like same project will be in your system also, will be in cloud server also. Okay, so just understand, as of now, 2 places, 2 copy of the files and folders of your project will be there. So one files and folders will be with you, which you will be always developing, making the changes, modifying the code. And one is like a stable one. Like, let's suppose 2 API you created and you have tested all the scenario. You have handled error, we have did validation for all the input, output, response and request, and you have checked properly the 2 API. Now it's ready for user to use that API. So what you do, you just take that folder, you host on your cloud server, like some AWS is there, hosting user is there, Digital Ocean is there. So many free platforms or paid platforms are there where you can host. See, now whenever you are running server in your system, only you can access from your Postman, right? I cannot access from my Postman. So if, let's suppose, you are a started server and I want to access your API which you have written, so I cannot do, because I am sitting in some other place, you are sitting in some other place, and the server is running in your system. It's not connected to internet, right? The API which is the server is not running in the internet way, right? It's locally running in your system. So no one can access other than you in your system, right? So that API means from Postman, which when you are calling from your Postman only, you can call that API. From my Postman, I am trying to call your API. It is not possible. It is possible when you will take your code and do on the cloud server. Okay, like Amazon you have to take, or some other platform you have to take. So all those things I'm not teaching you right now because it's not relevant to you now. Okay, so just understand, like there will be a copy of two environment, like one you can tell wherever you are writing the code, changing the code, that is development environment, and one which you deploy that thing to main cloud server where entire world can access. Like see, now facebook.com entire world can access, right? Because that is really kept on the cloud server, right? Flipkart.com entire India or entire world can access, because Flipkart.com is hosted on the cloud. But that copy of that will be having with all the developers sitting in the Flipkart or Facebook, right? So that is one their copy, and that is main copy will be having no changes, no defect, nothing. So that will be production server. So we'll call as a production code. So it's going on a live code. Okay, understood, Amar? So we have multiple environment will be there. Okay, same code base, but multiple environment. Why multiple environment means stages. Like see, you are developer, you are developing, so you developed something, right? Now again, that same code will go to feature test, means testing phase. So where in your company some testers will be there, so they will test it with more scenario on your code, and they'll try to break your code. They'll try to check how much good or feasible code you have written. Anything getting break or any validation is getting break, or any load like huge load is coming and your server, your API is getting break. So all those things they will be taking care, right? So that one copy should be given to them. Once they will do all the things, then they will provide, then they will forward that FT environment to production environment or pre-prod or SIT, or so many environment will be there. So later you will get to know in, when you will go to company. Okay, so all those environments. So why the stages of environment will be, one code will be tested by multiple people, one code will be used by multiple people, then it will go to use for the customer or the main users, end users. Okay, so that proper thorough testing will be there, proper everything will be checked, and then no one can get any issue while they are using the server. Because if customer will find the issue, then big loss will happen to the company. No one will trust your code, no one will trust your project or your app. So it will be very trouble for them and for you as well. Okay, so that is the reason multiple environments will be there. So multiple environments will have multiple port. Okay, multiple port will be there, multiple port, multiple IP, multiple configurations will be there, like different MongoDB will be there. Let's suppose in development environment you are using this DB, in server you might use other DB. So all those different configuration will be there, right? So all those configuration we are trying to keep it in one place. Okay, so based on the environment, so you will not write, right? Today in the code you are writing, okay, now running on the port something 3000, but in server the 3000 will not be there, so it might be in 4000, or it might be default port we have 80. So again, you no need to go and check in the server, right, port. You have to send it from here itself. So what we'll do, based on environment variable, we'll set, and based on the environment, it will take up. So one time, let's suppose you are setting, okay, development environment is this port and this IP. Production environment is this port and this IP. So automatically, based on the environment, based on the things, it will get pick up. Got it, Amar? So that is environment variables. It's like a upgraded features. Okay. So these all things. So slowly you'll understand what is this environment variable. Till you want able to till you want to go to companies and all, you will not get the actual experience of what I'm talking about. Okay. But as of now, just understand like how to set the environment variable, how to do that. And one more thing I'm going to teach is utils folder. Okay. So utils folder, why I'm telling like utility. Utility is nothing but it's like a reusable things we are going. Like in your files, in when you go to controller, like see product controller, right? So here you have written something. Okay, see here you have written the body data received from create operation, right? So this data, this whatever text we have written, if later let's suppose I want to change it, like the body data, instead of I want to remove body data for create operation. So again you have to go, and each file you have to go and you have to change that data, right? To change, search each file, like which file I have written what, which file I have written what. So instead of that, if I'll create one place to place all the hardcode text, static text, so this type of things will be there in one file, storing in one file, and that file I am accessing in all the files and folders. So that reusability will be there. Like one place writing and all other place will be affected. If let's suppose in the tomorrow end, the same text is used by 10 files. So I'll go to one place, I'll change there, and it will get affected to 10 place. Okay, so we are ready to going to organize our code. Okay, so that benefit will be there. So let's suppose now today you are writing the code for Let's suppose you are writing the code for email validation. Let's suppose email validation. You want to do email validation, but you want to do email validation for user controller, right? Here you want to do email validation. So you have written the code for email validation. Let's suppose here you have written the code for email validation. Okay, let's suppose you have written, but let's suppose you need that same email validation in product controller. Let's suppose you need email validation here. So what you will do? Again, you will create an email validation code. Same copy, same code you will get, right? Or let's suppose if you want to import also from here, but you don't know like which, because now you are seeing only 2 controller, but in real project it will be 1,000 controllers. So how you will get to know like in which controller that code is there so that I can export or import, right? So it's very difficult to organize and use the things. So better the things which is reusable, that keep it in one file or one folder, so that suddenly or fastly you can go and check, okay, that is the place where this email validation is there, and just pull that code and bring it here. That's it. Understood? Reusability means the things which is reusable again and again in multiple files and folders. Okay, that we can place in one files. So that's how our project will be more reliable and more like structure wise it will be more good. Okay, Amar. So that is the thing we are going to check. So already we have project, so we are going to do that. Okay, so let's go for utils. So we have to create in our root directory utils folder. Okay, so we have to create utils folder. So we have, which I have already created. Okay, so we have to create utils folder which I have already created. I'm deleting the file from here. So already have done this. Okay, so I'll just close this. So similar to model, similar to middleware, similar to controller, we have created one more folder called utils. Got it? That much is clear, Amar? Okay. So in this utils folder, what are all files we can create? So first is constant file we can create. Constant means what? Constant means all the static things. Like let's suppose you are writing when user got registered successfully, you are writing user registered successfully, like that you are writing. When let's suppose a user something got failure, then you are writing, oh, some error happened or error occurred, something like that. So all the text data is there, no? So instead of writing to all the files, like going to this and writing here and writing here, like this, only 1,000 controller will be there. So you're writing all the places. Now let's suppose tomorrow team lead or manager comes and they got feedback from the client. They don't want that type of message. They want some message to change. So again, what you'll do, you'll search again all the files and you'll check, okay, where is that message? I have to change. Understood what I'm trying to tell? So instead of that, instead of going to all the files and folder to check, just keep in one file, okay, all the messages so that it will be structured. So what I'll do, so for that we have constant file, okay, constant file. So config file means all your MongoDB configuration, what database should be there, what collection should be there, what are the name of the collection should be there. So all those should be placed in the config file. Okay, helper file is nothing but whatever you are like. Helper file means, let's suppose you are writing some reusable logic, like let's suppose you are writing code to generate unique id. So unique id means it can be used for user id also, it can be used for product id also, it can be used for category id also, it can be used for order id also, right? Multiple places that id can be used. Correct? So instead of writing every places, just write in one place and use it. Right? Write in one file and use it. So you can write in helper file and you can use that. Got it? Understood what I'm trying to tell? Okay, validator. So let's suppose you have validation for phone, you have validation for email, you have validation for name, you have validation for password, or you have validation for category, or some other validation which like mixture of product, user, and so many validation. So instead of writing to the respective product controller or user controller, you write all the validation things in validator.js, so that in future you can reuse that in the multiple controller, and any validation changes will come in the future. Like let's suppose email validation is not working properly or some more constraint you want to keep in that, so directly you come to validator.js page and just change there, instead of going and searching in all the files and folder where that validation I have written and simply juggling and all, getting issue troubles and all. Instead of that, just you can come here and change it. That will be easy. So every files you are seeing all are reusable, I'm trying to say. Okay, so this is not included in your course. I have not mentioned in the course this type of thing, but still I'm teaching to you so that you will understand. You will be now only you should be very like writing the structure white code. Got it, Amar? That is the reason I'm discussing about them. Okay, last one is logger. So let's suppose you want to generate log for all the files, every files and whatever you have. So better instead of writing everywhere, just write in one logger place how the design you want. Like for success, you want some format. For failure, you want some one format. For information giving, you want one format of data. So all those you can write in one place and just use that as it is. Okay, so all those things we can write in logger.js file. So like this multiple file you can create. This is just some examples of the file. Okay, so let's discuss one by one some of the files. Okay, all files will not discuss now because all files is that label of course is not there to discuss all the files. Okay, so some of the files I'll be discussing. Okay, so let's go for constant. See, so constant JS. Okay, so just create constant JS, create this constant object. Already you know this module.export constant. So this much you know, right? Now inside this, see all the status code. Right now, what you are doing, you are just going here. You can see directly you are writing 201, right? Directly you are writing 201. Again, if you want to check in the product controller, somewhere you are writing 201, somewhere you are writing 200, right? Multiple places, multiple things you are writing, but directly writing, right? But every places, let's suppose tomorrow I'll tell you all the success should be 2 not 5. Then what you will do? You will go here and you will write here 2 not 5. Again you will go here, you will write here 2 not 5. You will go here, you will write 2 not 5, 2 not 5, right? Correct? Same thing you will do because everywhere you have to change all the success. Again, like other controller will be there. Other controller also you'll go here and you'll write 2 not 5. So think if there is a 1,000 controllers or if there is a 100 controllers, you have to go each controller and you have to change this. How hectic it is for changing. Correct? How trouble for you to change one thing and you have to go every files and folder to change. Right? So instead of that, we can create one constant file, okay, and just we can write a status code and then success as 200, not found as 400. So tomorrow I'll tell, okay, change the success as 202. Then just here change 202. Wherever it is referred, everywhere it will get changed. So how to use this? So all those things I'll discuss. I'll try to implement in our project. Okay. Understood, Amar? And what I'm trying to talk? So all the messages, static things in the one place. That is the main motto of this. Okay. So that whenever I make any changes, it will affect to all the files and folder automatically. Okay. So same way, let's suppose message is there. So you can create a message like this. You can create a user for message will be for user controller, for product controller, for task controller, for anything like you want to write the message. Or if you don't want to follow this structure directly, write register successful, login successful instead of user. So as per your convenience, you write, but you have to make it separate everything. That is called the best structure of the project. Okay, so just write message user. So register success will be having user registered successfully. Login successfully, user logged in successfully. So tomorrow, let's suppose someone will tell you, okay, no, the login success has to get changed. It has to be login user logged in. That much only. Then just come to this file, remove this much part. That's it. No need to go any other place and search, okay, which file this user logged in successfully is there. Okay, in user controller is there. In user controller, which place. So in login place is there. So all those jungle, bungle, all those things, juggle, loggle, we no need to do. Okay, no need to waste your time. Directly come in this place, just change it. Got it? So all the messages, constant things, you can place it in constant file. Understood? So we'll try to test this. Okay? Understood this much, Amar? Let's implement. Okay, so let's implement. Okay, so in util folder, first file I'll create as constant.js. So whenever I create any file, I'm following only one structure. Okay, module.export, exporting the object. And in object property wise, I'm just writing. So that means like I'm writing constant, constant, okay, constant, okay, and just creating the object, right? This much only, no, I'm doing everywhere. And then just doing module dot export and everything, whatever there, all the properties, just constant means all the properties included in the constant object means export. Okay, So just create one first one. So let's suppose now we have C. Now we can see in index.js page. First of all, the base URL. No, not base URL. First of all, the port. Let's suppose the port will take, or what we can take other than this. Let's suppose this message. Let's suppose this message is there, right? Connected database. This one database successfully, right? This database successfully. So okay, so directly copy this, cut this from here, and just go to constant and write something like that. So I want to make it message separate. So I'll just write message separate, and I'll just write database success connection. Okay, I'm just writing, copy pasting here, right? So in place of this also, we can just remove this much, at least we can do, or something like that we can, or let's now we don't do more hectic, because again we have to configure this database will get changed, then again we have to change this, all those things no need to do. Okay, as of now. Okay, so that's it. So let's suppose I'm doing this, right? Okay, now another is, again we'll go for status code. Status code. Why I'm writing capital all means it's a constant. Constant will be always like, it should be like different style writing, so that it will be like by seeing itself you will get to know, okay, this is a constant, right? Not like I'm writing in the small letter, all are in capital with underscore I'm writing, so that it will be easy for differentiate with other variables and all, right? So that is the reason I'm doing. So let's suppose I'm just writing success as 200, right? As per now we have only thing this two only, we can just let it be. So now this constant file we have to reuse. So let's go to index.js page. Let's import this. So I'll just import that constant file. Importing also either you can do like this way, like constant should be always in capital. So you can just do in capital constant. Just you can require and just go to, so it is in utils, so dot slash, no, then dot slash, right? It's a root folder, so dot slash, and then utils, and then constant, right? So we got the constant. Now instead of this, instead of here, we just write constant dot message dot database connection. That's it. So whenever later it will change anything, it will just go and change in constant. Like let's suppose now we are trying to do what is that? We are trying to go to product controller, and we are trying to change, remove all this, right? So let's go here and just do let constant equal to require dot slash, and then we'll go for utils, and then we'll go for constant, right? And then we can use it constant. So in place of these all, you can just write constant dot status code dot success. That's it. So just copy paste this all. Instead of 205, just copy paste. It's a one time work, right? But later any changes will be there. See, so you have done. That's it. Using is this much. Now later, let's suppose someone will tell you, okay, I want all the success code to be 205. Just go to constant file, change it to 100 to 205. That's it. Wherever the success is used from the constant, either in product controller, 5 places is used, right? This places, this places, this places, this places, everywhere it will become 205. No need to change. Got it, Amar? What is the use? How the use? Okay. So same way you can go to user controller, you can input that constant file, and you can just write it as it is. Got it? What I'm trying to tell? Okay. So this type of things will be there constant. So like this we can create and we can reuse. So in messages we can create for users, you can create for product, any messages, all the messages which you are seeing in your project, that you can write like this. Got it? Okay. So this is fine now. Okay. Next is config. Config is nothing but whatever configuration things are there in your project, like either the MongoDB configuration, either the port configuration, either the base URL. So all the configuration we have to keep in one place. Okay. Not in the constant file. Okay. Keep in one place. Haha. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, tell me. 200. Yeah, again I'll put 200. Then just I'm showing you, like if in future if someone will tell you to change, then you can just change in one place. It will affect to all other files and folders. That I'm trying to show you. Okay. But basically success message is always 200. Got it? Understood what I'm telling? Oh, you are asking me to show the output. Tell like that. I want to show the output. Okay, no problem. Okay, fine. So I'll restart it. Tell like that. Show the output. Okay. Something is there. Email is not defined. Where is that first? Product controller.js. Okay. See, read the message properly. Okay. Everywhere you have to read the message. See here what is happening. See, it's telling some error came for me, right? So it's written like email not defined. Then where it is, I want to check. Then here at least it will come. Okay. In this path, product controller line number 49. Or either you can see down. See, product controller line number 49. So properly you have to check. If you start reading the error, no, that time also you can fix so many things. Got it? Understood? So just go to product controller and line number 49. See, I have written something without any reason. Okay, save it. Hmm. Okay, something again happened. Cannot find. Okay, somewhere I have written this utils, I think. Okay, so maybe I think I have to write some other things. Okay, let me do one thing. Just this user controller only. Let me hide it as of now because now it's not required. Okay, server is running. Now see, now we have in constant file 200, right? So let's call something. So let's call get list by product. Let's call this. So you are getting the data with 200, right? Got it? Now let's change to 205. So I'll change here. No, before that I want to show you other as well. So let's see, I'll just copy this one more and I'll go to get list by product and I'll just copy paste. Still you are seeing 200, right? This place also, correct? Got it? What I'm telling? Okay. Now again, let's change. Now see. Now instead of 200, now I'm just going here and just changing 205. I'll save this, but I have to restart the server. So I'll restart the server. Restart the server because I have made the changes to constant file, right? Any file you will change here, you have to restart server. Don't forget that, okay? Okay. Now let's go. Now, if I'll go get list of the product and if I'll click consent, now see what is happening. Understood? Got it. Now again, you go to get product and send. See what is happening. This is wrong, right? This is wrong only, but just to showcase, like it will change to multiple places. You don't need to, have you been to any places and changed? Just in one places you changed. But it got affected to all the API, right? Delete API, update API, detail API, list API, every API it will get changed, right? Understood? So one place writing, multiple place changing. Got it? Understood, Amar? Any doubt? Okay, okay. Like that only you have to. This is called organization of the project. Got it? So same way, config is there. So config instead of writing a respective place like all these hard-coded values and all, just write the config file, config.js file, and just write all these things and refer this. Okay, so that will be benefited. So same like constant, I'll just create utils. I'll create here config.js file, and I'll just write same thing, constant config equal to, okay, and I'll just try to do module dot exports, okay, and I'll just do config, right? And here in this object, what I can write, let's suppose I'm writing base URL, okay, so base URL, what it was? It was slash API, right, and slash products, right, something, or I think I have modified it, so maybe for user also I have modified, so I have kept here product, but base URL is slash API, right here. So instead of that I'm writing here slash API. Okay, let's suppose port is, so your actual port is, what is that actual port? Sorry, 3000, right? So 3000 I'm making. Let's suppose you are writing MongoDB URL. So I'm just writing DB URL. So DB URL will be whatever. So just copy this DB URL from MongoDB to this, copy this and just go to here and just paste it. Okay, done. So if you paste it here, now what you will do in index.js page, just stop somewhere. Okay, just stop because here we are writing, right? So base URL now not required this. So just import that. So const config equal to require utils slash config. That's it. Now just copy this config and then go to this instead of quotes and all. Just delete. Write config dot db URL. That's it. Okay. Now here you can write in the server port. You can write config dot port. Right. That's it. Like that you can write. So what will happen from here? Let's suppose tomorrow you'll tell no 3000. I no need to run in 3000. I want to run in 4000. Just change here 4000. Right. Like that you can change. It will run on 4000. Got it, Amar? What I'm telling? Okay. So this config is required. Okay. So that is one thing. Another helper. Helper is nothing but, let's suppose now see. Now some name I want to do capital to capital first letter. So Pascal case something I'm trying to do. So some logic I have written here like something to uppercase, first letter to uppercase and then sliced from one to last. So something logic I have written. So this can be useful for multiple places. So like this function we are writing and calling in that files and folders, these functions. Okay. So this type of things will more practice on the project. Okay. Got it, Amar? I'm not showing you this because we'll practice in project or we'll practice in some other, I think further will come like JWT or something will come, then that time I'll show you that time. Okay. So these are the things are there. Same way validator, like see, is email validation I have written. So whenever any email will be passed here, so this will validate either true or false. Okay, got it? So based on regex, it will just find out whether true or false. So if email is validated successfully, it will just return true or else return false. That's it. So like this type of things you can reuse in multiple places. Now I'm writing email. Later I'll write phone, username, name, password. Every validation you can write here in one place, so that you can use in multiple places. Okay, got it? Understood? So these are things are there. But now environment variable. So environment variable is nothing but it's a key value pair. So there is a key, there is a value. Okay. So it's generally used for, see all the things I'm telling you. See, just now what you saw. You saw all this data, right? This data should not be shown to the user or should not be committed to the Git or should not be shown to the people, right? It should be very like securely it should be written. These all things. It should not be displayed to the user. Otherwise, the hacker can hack this easily, your system, and they can destroy your database, right? So all these things should be, and all this might changes in multiple environment. So that time what happens, we have to set the environment variable and we have to use it instead of, so why I taught this all config constant because of environment variable only I taught, so that I can make you understand what environment variable is. So any secret things are there, any top secret codes are there, passwords are there, API keys are there, your server related any sensitive informations are there. All those things will write in the environment variable. Okay, and let's suppose any variable things are there, like let's suppose it might change, like let's suppose your development server is running in 3000 but your actual server is running in 4000. So you can configure in environment variable, like okay, use this dot some this environment variable use for develop and this environment variable use for production, something like that we can do. Okay, so this you will not understand much till I want to go to project. Once I'll start the project, no, then you will understand properly. Okay, and we have some of the place like these all datas and all will be stored in all these places. Like you can take some cloud like AWS Elastic Bean stock, AWS Secret Manager is there. So many things are there where you can store all this securely. Okay, all this securely. So once I'll go to the project, no, then I'll define properly everything. But right now just you have to understand how to use it. Okay, so environment variable is there where all the variables will write and we'll use it. So let's try to convert our config to environment variable. So using process, already we remembered we have done one process. Got it? Remembered? Process one global object or default module was there. Process, I think, very previous. I think we have discussed. Here see, process. Remember this process. So this process, what we did, we checked. This is the process. See, it was there. ARGV, ENV, version, all those things was there, right? Okay. So all those things we are going to check. Just now understand, like whatever environment you will set, that will be collected with this process.env.my variable. So whatever variable you are setting. So let's set that variable. Okay. So to do this variable setting, we need one package called .env package. Okay, to access this all the variables. Whatever variables we'll set, all the variables we can access from .env package. So let's first create the environment. So how to create the, so there are multiple way to set the environment variable. One is directly from the terminal we can set, like export environment variable and write some environment variable. You can set like that, or else you can create the file called .env, not like env dot something, directly .env. So when you are creating file called .env and when you are applying all this detail, you can use .env npm module to access in your project. Okay, so how these all will work, I'll show you. Okay, so let's discuss that. Okay, so let's suppose now everything is taking from config, right? Everything is taking from config from here. Now let's suppose I wanted to set this port not from the config, from the environment variable. So first thing is what I'll do, I'll just click on the root folder, I'll create plus and I'll write .env. Okay, .env. Got it? So I've created. Now .env will only have key value pair with equal symbol, no quotes, nothing should be there, right? So I'll just write port equals 3000. That's it. Got it? Understood? Whenever you are changing to environment variable, just delete this terminal so that it will affect and just create the new terminal. Okay, fine. So port equal to 3000. Now I want take port from config. I'll take port from. So let's make the environment variable as 4000 so that it will run on the 4000. Okay, instead of config. So let's make it from here as, instead of config dot port, we can just take it from. So here I can write. Let's suppose I can just write here. Let port equal, okay, so I can just write process dot env dot port, right? That was there, or else config dot port, config dot port, right? So either take from process dot environment dot port or take from config dot port, but before that let's print this both. Okay, so I'll just do log and let's print. So I'm just printing process dot env dot port, that is environment port, and second is I'm just checking config dot port. So let's restart the server and let's see what is happening. Okay, so let's restart. Okay, so what is happening? Something is not there. Base URL. Okay, what is base URL? Okay, understood. Because see, all this got break, no? So base URL should be basically from config, right? So it should be config dot base URL. So I think in config base URL only will be there, right? Okay. So let's do d and just write config dot. Okay, now it won't happen. Okay, server is starting. So see, first you are getting undefined, means we cannot able to access, even though we have written .env this port equal to 4000, we cannot able to access. See, we are not able to access. So first parameter is coming as undefined, so it's giving undefined, but second is giving config.port is giving 3000, right? So already we know config has 3000, but here we are expecting, in place of undefined we are expecting 4000. So what we'll do, we'll go to npm package called .env. So I'll just go for npm js and just search .env. Okay, so this one we'll try to install to our system, to our project. So just clear and just install. Okay, so once we install, we'll clear Okay, it cleared, and let's see what they have written for this one. So okay, so they're telling like this one we have to do, and then we can print .en, then we can print process.environment, everything will can. So just copy this file, these things, and just go to index.js page, and just somewhere you paste after this mongoose connection, we can paste here this. Now after requiring and doing config and all, now what we can do, we can just work on this. Now process.env.port, now you can see it will go as process dot. So instead of this, I'll just write port here. Okay, now I'll refer that port. So whichever port will come, we'll just use it. Okay. Okay, fine. So either it will take from process, if process has, means if this is having, then it will take port as 4000, or else it will take port as from config. So config is having 3000 and environment variable is having 4000. So tell me which one will run now. And this port only, this variable only. So whatever value of this, here also value will be same, and in message also value will be same. Understood? So both, all the value will be same. So based on this, so now we are able to get this. So once we are able to get this, means it will come as a 4000, and then it will run on the 4000, it will run on the 4000. So let's try. Oh, sorry. Again, I have installed. No problem. It's fine. Ha, okay. See. So basically your port came, means now we are able to access environment variable. So whatever you have set here 4000. So now what happens in index.js file, this value came 4000. So if this value came means OR operation, so no need to check this, directly this value assigned to port. So it is assigned to port. So port value is 4000. So our app listen will also work on 4000, right? So server running on 4000. Then here also 4000. So basically now our server running on 4000. Now you can't access any API. See, can't access any API. So here again you have to change everywhere, right? Here you have to change as 4000. Let's do for this so that we can again revert back. Okay, let's do for 4000. So now you will able to hit, right? See, with 4000 port now you are able to hit, but with 3000 port you are not able to hit because I have taken from this file. Right now you cannot able to access if 3000 I'm giving. Okay, but if you want to use config.port, then just comment this line. Just comment this line. That's it. It will run on the 3000. See? Got it? So this type of things you will only see, we will only try understand when you will go to project. Okay, when I'll tell you, okay, Amar, you run on this and you give me, I'll take care of the some other environment. You take care of other environment. So that time I'll make you practice all these things. Okay, so you'll understand more. But as of now, just understand there is environment variable to be set. Okay, which can be all the configuration which are doing here. We can set it there. Okay, and from this file will be different for different environment. Now this is .env, right? So if you want to set for multiple, then you have to write .env.development, .env.production, .env.sit, .env.uat. So what will happen, this will go, so in development they'll use this file, in production they'll use another one more file. So in this file it might be the port 400, so in other file it will be port 600 or 6000, sorry. So production they will use 6000. So no need to change anything. Everything you are configuring at one place, and based on environment changes, they will pick up this environment, and based on that it will work. No need to change. Now see, if you will use config, and let's suppose this is going to production, and production has to run for 4000, then again what they have to do? They have to again change it here. Right, they have to again change it here. So no need to do all these things. Directly use one more environment variable, okay, and just use that. So whenever they will run the server, they will pick this environment .env.production, something like that they'll do. So all those things they'll do in the package.json. Okay, so they'll do here. All those scripting they will write there and they will execute. So all those things we'll practice more on project time. Okay, once we'll do project. Understood, Amar? Somehow, if you are not understanding also this, no any issue. Okay, because anyway, again we are going to see this in project. Okay, got it? Any doubt? Okay. So if you don't want to practice this, don't practice, but at least one time we read this page. Okay, this both page. Just read it as it is. Okay, got it? Okay. Now tell me, what and all you have done in your assignment? Any progress other than this VS Code not opening the folder? Oh, you didn't do because of that. Okay, okay, fine. So, okay, so do that, continue with that, okay? We'll discuss more on tomorrow, this sign up flow. I can tell you within 10 minutes the sign up flow. It's just simple things, okay? Just bear me 10 minutes. Okay, so let's start. So basically we are going to do registration of the user, okay? Sign up flow and password we are going. See, normally what we'll do, we'll store password as it is, right? abc.com, abc1234 or asdf1234 or whatever password you are writing. Generally what you will do, you will just encrypt that password. Sorry, you will just send that password as it is. Because now what we are doing, whatever we are sending from here in the body, in create product or let's suppose user will be there. So directly whatever you are writing, it will go and store in the database, right? Correct? It will store in the database. But some password will be there. If it will store in the database, then developer will have access that developer who is developing this project, they like let's suppose now we have done login to Facebook or we have registered to Facebook. The password for us it is stored in very encrypted manner, in secure manner, so that the person who is developing the Facebook application, they can also not access our data. Understood? They can also not access. Why it is they cannot access means we have to store password not in the one format, simple text format. We have to store in doing some encryption technique and you have to store it in different format so that that cannot be decrypted. Got it, Amar? So simple sign up already I discussed, right? So in sign up, what we'll do? So first we'll try to collect the user detail, right? So collecting user detail means nothing but you are getting all the details from the postman. So let's suppose this schema is like this. Username is there, type required, email is there, password is there, created is there, is verified is there. Is verified, I'll check once this one will come. So already ignore this. Just understand. But see, this password will be stored as it is. So we should not do that, right? Should not do that. So let's suppose validation. So second is validation. So any API you are creating, these all things you have to follow. First is collecting user detail, like request.query, request.body, request.params. Second is validating. You have to validate each input, like username should be this and user email should be this format, password should be this. So all those validation for each field you have to do. That is second thing. Third thing, how to store, like any sensitive information is there, like let's suppose password is sensitive, right? It should not store as it is, otherwise anyone can use your email and password, developer, and they can change something, modify something to you, right? So it will be trouble for you. So password should be encrypted, so securely data you have to make. And then account confirmation is nothing but like once like see, I can use your email and I can register to some website, no? Correct or not? If I know your email, I can register to website, or you know my email, you can also register to website. Because of that reason, they will give one verified. Once you register to any website, they will tell you, go to your mail, whatever mail you have entered, go to that mail, you will receive one link for verification or receive one code for verification. That code bring and paste here. Then only it will be like, okay, really you are using your email, or really you are using the email which you really are authenticate with. Okay, so that is the reason is verified will be there. Okay, so all this validation you can do. So just I have written for one validation, that is username. So username validation is 30 to 20 character. It should be alphanumeric, means minimum length should be 3, maximum length should be 20. Alphanumeric it should be means only alphabetical and numbers should be allowed, and only special character means optional, that is underscore or hyphen, only these two allowed. At the rate should not allowed. Other like equal to symbol, percentage symbol, all those things should not allow. So all those validation we have to do. So we have done this way. So regex, already we have discussed about regex, right? So what is these all symbols and all, already we have talked in regex. So if it is before this tilt symbol is there, means it should start with. So start with either hyphen, either underscore, either A to Z small, either A to Z capital, or either 0 to 9 small or capital. So minimum should be 3 to 20. Minimum should be 3 from any of this, or maximum should be 20 from any of this. That is only I have written here. Right? Length restriction. Now dollar means end. So that much only should be there. Other than that, nothing should be there. Means in combination of all this only should be there. Other than this, you cannot write username any other, right? You cannot write ABC at the rate 123. You cannot write ABC equal 123, because equal at the rate all other special symbols are not allowed. Only two special symbols are allowed, that is underscore and hyphen. Okay, and A to Z means all these combinations are allowed. Got it? From A to Z also you can write something, capital A to Z also mixing you can write, or 0 to 9 also you can mixing you can write. So all those things you can write, mix. but you cannot write other than these two special symbols while writing your username. So this is the regex already we have discussed. You can just study this because in regex so much detail we have gone through, right, in the JavaScript classes. Okay, so we have done their email validation, phone validation we have done, right? So all these things we have caret, qualifiers, all those things we have studied there. Okay, so you can check with that. So this type of, so basically you have to do validation of the each data. Like see, someone in the email they can write ABC, then it will be, it should not be, there is not a validator, no. Email should not be ABC or 123. It should be proper something at the rate domain name dot com or dot in dot net, something like that. It should be proper email format. So all those validation you have to do. So first is collecting the data, second is validating the input, and third is hashing or encrypting your data, right? So encrypting your data, we are using, so let's suppose now we are going to password, the password which we are sending, that only we are going to encrypt. We are going to change the format. So what we'll do, we'll use one more module, NPM module called bcrypt. Bcrypt. You can use NPM default module as well, crypto, that is also okay, but we are using this external API bcrypt. So bcrypt is one algorithm we can tell, or NPM package we can tell, which will convert our plain text into hash, means it will convert into different format. So what the format will be there? So these are the logic. Okay, so if you go to bcrypt documentation like bcrypt npm, I'll just show you right away so that you can get to know npm js. Okay, bcrypt, right? So go to bcrypt installation, already you know this, you can do install and just read this all. Okay, so check whether any code is there. So npm install is this, and then okay, they are rating, they are saying like you can use like this. So bcrypt you can require salt round. Salt round means how much strong you have to, like see, one time encryption, again that taking again one more time encryption, again taking one more time encryption. So if you will do 10 times encryption, that will be very lengthy and that will be very like difficult to get back to your actual password. Okay, for hacker. So one time encrypting means, let's suppose ABC, A I'm encrypting in one time. So A became something AHB. Again one AHB I'm taking and again one more time encrypting. So AHB, for AHB it will encrypt like HBCGJF something. So again that also I'm encrypting. So it will become encrypting, it will become very tough for anyone to decrypt it. Okay, so that's why 10 round we are doing, means we are 10 times we are going to do like that, you have to understand. Okay, so what is there to generate, to hash the password, means to change the format of the password, you can just use bcrypt dot hash. Here it is written bcrypt dot hash. You can pass the plain password and you can pass how many times you want to do round, and then you can get it function like this. Okay, and then when you are checking, comparing, later you can do. So login page I'll discuss regarding compare, but now as of now just we have to understand we can use dot hash bcrypt dot hash. We have to pass our password and we have to pass our round, like this round will be static. So 10 20 something like that you pass, and then you can get the hash. So how it looks, so again we'll go back to the slide and we can check this. Okay, so generally the flow, sign up flow. So basically we are collecting the data, right? So first I have discussed about collecting the user data, right? Now second is validating. So we can go for validating. So validating I'll discuss in project time. Joy one validation is there. So which will help you to validate each of the keyword. Sorry, each of the field. So instead of writing your on regex and on everything, you can use Joy for some of the validation. It's a very popular validation, Joy. It's not GeoSim, it's a Joy. Okay, so same way bcrypt, we have Joy. So just do Joy. Sorry, Joy. Just do Joy. Joy. So it's a client side, sorry, server side validation. Okay, so all the data validation. So you can install this and you can just read the documentation API. They have written separately. So see, username validation. How? Username should be string, should be alphanumeric, minimum should be 3, maximum should be 30, and should be required. Right? Password. So password should be pattern in this format, like combination of all these three from 3 to 30. Means password should be start from all these, no any underscore, no any special symbol, just combination of A to Z or 0 to 9. Minimum should be 3, maximum should be 30. So this type of pattern also you can use. Repeat password also same, like as reference from the password, same thing should be there. Access token means you can do like this. Birth here means it should be number, integer, minimum 1990, maximum 2013. Email is the minimum domain segment is 2, some allow .com or .net. So all these things are there already in Joy. Okay, so all these things are already in there in Joy. So you can use this to validate. So these all things will check in future. Okay, I'll try to validate in project and I'll try to show you. Okay, understood, Amar? So these all things why I am telling as a fresher, you no need to know this. But this course is not only like only for fresher, small things I'll teach you and then I'll leave. Once you will go to project, once you will handle project, that time you will get all these things. Okay, these are things a developer has been used because these all are very popular things. Like see, you can see if you want to see the how much popularity of that respective module, you just see the weekly download. See, weekly download, how much it is. Okay, quickly download. So this is a very huge downloads, like per week this much downloads are going on. That is the reason this Joe is very popular, and you can down you will see some MIT license or some popular license will be there, like MIT or BST, all those license will be there. Okay, so and it's updated, like see it's keep on updating, people are keep on improvising this data. So 5 months ago only they have improvised. Okay, so then we can use this Joy. Okay, so all those things are used for input validation. Okay, so one class I'll take for this also to validate. When once we'll go to project, no, then I'll use this. That time you should not be aware, blank mind. Okay, I don't know Joy only. What is Joy? Okay, so that time I'll use it and I'll show you how to validate. Understood? So input validation is done. Now next encryption. So encryption already discussed, big crypt will use. So after encryption, how the password will look like? See, the password was, let's suppose ASDF1234. After using this big crypt and doing hash, the password will be this. See how the format it is. Now tell, can you encrypt it again? Can you get to know what is the password from here? Tell. You cannot get to know. You cannot get to know what is the password. So like this format, our all the data will be stored in the database. Okay, either in Facebook, either in Flipkart, either in anywhere. They will use some different modules. That is different. But like this, so that developer also can't access your account. Got it? Developer also can't access the person who is developing that project or any of the if data leak will happen by hacker, then they cannot use your data. They cannot use your credential to do something to your hacking. Got it? So that's why the store is important. The encryption techniques are important. Got it, Amar? Okay. So to use this, we have a helper function. So we are just using helper.hash password. We are providing the password and we are just setting the same password request.body. And then we are after that the password got changed and then we are doing model. So we are storing that data. So now the password will be stored in this format. In this format, the data will go as this format, not in the this. Okay. So like that we can do. Understood what I'm telling? Got it? So slowly you learn so many things. It's not that easy. Okay, man? Okay, fine. So many things you have to slowly learn. Okay, thank you. Let's discuss tomorrow more. Okay.